Hello gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Solo Spelunking. And tonight I will again continue my Star Wars campaign, Adventures in the Keldor sector. And actually this is not quite true anymore, because last time, after completing a job for the rebels, we have left the Keldor sector and have made our way across Hutt space, through Hutt space, to the famous smuggler's moon Nar Shaddaa, the Space Borg moon of the planet Nar Shaddaa, which is the Hutt homeworld. And this is where we at, and we ended the last episode with us, and that is ladies first, Rhya, Cloudshadow of Eldrid, mysterious Eldridian shadow huntress, and Nash, Duncan, human scoundrel, smuggler, and flyer for hire. And with our ship, the Never Too Late, actually quite souped up at this point, except for the weapons, we have made our way to Nar Shaddaa, and before we arrived here, we fought against slavers, and I just realized that actually those slavers, they were shooting with iron guns. So the iron gun damage is not permanent. It regenerates after a while, but if your hull is reduced to 0 using iron guns, I think then you're disabled, but it's not permanent damage. So actually I get some hull points back, and now I'm not sure, was I at 11 and then I got hit, or at 13? I think I got hit twice. I will just bring myself back up to 13 hull. I think this is correct, because that was only iron damage. Lucky us. Okay, but now we arrived in the Nar Shaddaa or Nar Shaddaa system. We make our approach to Nar Shaddaa, and as you know, Nar Shaddaa is a lawless, wretched hive of scum and villainy. So again, I turn to my trusty solo RPG framework for space opera games and follow the procedures for arriving in a planetary system and approaching a planet. And here we see that in a low security system, we have a 3 in 6 chance for a random encounter, which does not necessarily have to affect us. It's just something happening on the approach. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, there will be an encounter. So, of course, there's a lot of space traffic as we exit hyperspace and make our approach to the planet, and the closer we get to the moon, the heavier the space traffic gets. But they're not really these large bulk freighters here. Every once in a while, mostly heavy starfighters, tramp freighters, or small starfighters, and the occasional Hutt clan patrol vessel also. And so let's see what happens. 1, 2, 3. There will be some encounter. 4. No, we are lucky. Okay, so we are just one little speck within all these specks of approaching vessels. So we approach the planet and enter the upper atmosphere. Even though it is a lawless planet, there is a lot of traffic going on. So it's just out of courtesy that we contact traffic control and ask for approach vector and for a landing pad to set down to. And a voice, probably Rhodian, speaking basic with a heavy accent, tells us, "Welcome to Nar Shaddaa. Be prepared to pay a 500 credit docking fee upon arrival." And Nash goes, "Yeah, understood, of course." Then he says to Rhya, "Damn, I forgot all about it. Those Hutts, they gotta eat too. I mean, 500 credits, that's steep." "Yeah, well, we just got paid. And I mean, it's basically a joint venture. I can pay half of it." And Nash says, "Well, don't worry about it. It'll even itself out in the long run. I mean, depending on how much the upgrades are, I might come back to your offer of chipping in. And I smile. And she says, of course, the ship protects me as well, she says. And Nash says, well, not only the ship, you know, I mean, it's my fancy flying. And Rhya just smiles, of course, that's what I meant. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, and we enter the upper atmosphere. It is pretty, let's say, see what time it is. Ooh, it is noon. 8 plus 4, that is 12. Actually, even though it is noon, I make a little note here. Arrive at noon. Even though it is noon, it is not really bright because the atmosphere is actually pretty polluted, and there's this bubble of light that is emanated by all those buildings, and we make our approach. And just so that you can, for the atmosphere, I prepared a couple of pictures. So this is, let me check the camera. Yeah, let's put this down here like so. Yes, okay, so I should mark this spot here so that I know if I'm putting my tablet up, this is where it should go for you to see, and also get a little glimpse of the picture still. So yeah, so we approached the planet. The entire planet is covered in a huge sprawling city complex, or with a huge sprawling city complex. I think they're called Ekenomepilus or something like that. There's a fancy word for it. You know what I mean, like a planet-wide city. It's like the Coruscant of the Outer Rim, and there are air speeders buzzing about, and there is heavy traffic, and we are directed to one of those docking towers. So like these buildings, there's a building here which is basically a large skyscraper, and on all four sides it has like docking bays where you fly in, and there's a central turbolift cluster in the middle, and from there you can access different levels of the city. And yeah, so this is where we are headed. So we make our way through the skyscraper canyons, and it is all neon lit, and we enter this docking tower and set the ship down. Whew. Here we are, Nar Shaddaa. Actually, now that I'm here, this place brings back some memories. And Rhya goes, well, I bet it does. Yeah, you know what? So there 500 credits are deducted. So Nash has 12,300 left. I mean, it is noon. Why don't we go out for lunch, my treat, and if you want to know, I tell you all about Lula and what I did here. And she looks at me, tilts her head slightly. Only if you want to share, but I do have to admit, I am curious. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I've never really talked about this part of my past. And a little OOC, of course, before I started this episode, I watched some key moments of the prequels to refresh my memory of what was going on. And actually, I forgot that Nash actually was in Imperial imprisonment for 2 or 3 years after Lula was blown to bits and the Silver Angel, and then he escaped as the facility came under attack by whatever forces. So indeed, he has not talked about it. Of course, this is also because I didn't know it back then when I started this series, because I then just did the prequels, so sort of like a retcon, but you can justify it by this being painful memories that he didn't really wanted to talk about. But now he's willing to open up to Rhya, and they agreed that they won't have any more secrets, even though it's not really a secret. I mean, yeah, but so this is just a little OOC background so that it all makes sense. Why didn't he talk about it before? Yeah, because before I didn't know about it. All right, so and he goes, yeah, maybe it is time I tell someone about it, about what happened. And we head out to a somewhat nice restaurant, so not in the underbelly of Nar Shaddaa, in, like, let's say in the upper third levels of the Spacer section, but basically the entire city is a Spacer section. So we find a nice diner, nothing fancy, and yeah, and we sit down and we have some lunch. So let me pull up a little image, I think, here of some cityscape. Yeah, so this is because of this reflection, it's hard to see. So then you make your way, and then there are all these interconnected platforms and hubs with cafes, shops, whatever, and there's bustling speeder traffic, and you can see Nar Shaddaa in the distance. And like I said, even though it is noon, it is never really sunny and bright daylight on Nar Shaddaa. It is all like a neon lit hue, basically. So yeah, we make our way to a nice diner here along this promenade, and sit down and order, and then Nash starts to talk. Well, Rhya, Lula was, I would say, my first real love. I met her, she was a mechanic. She was a mechanic, a tech whiz, and a pretty damn good navigator or astrogator. She was able to plot routes through the outer rim to make good speed. Even our ship back then, when we started out, was not very souped up. So I was traveling alone. I met her when I had a repair job that I needed done, and yeah, and she was the mechanic that fixed up the ship, and I don't know, we immediately hit it off. I mean, it was chemistry, you could say, and yeah, we decided to travel together as crew. She wanted to yeah, get out of the confinements of her repair shop, at least for a while, and I'm always happy to have a capable crew hand, and so we traveled together for a while, and we drew or got accustomed to each other, and then we, yeah, one thing led to another, and we became lovers. And yeah, she was my first real, you could say, serious love interest. And then we made good money, actually, and she insisted to call our ship the Silver Angel. Pretty cheesy, actually, if I think about it. But to make it fitting, I mean, if I think about it now, I mean, she spent 10,000 credits to get a chrome polished hull for our ship. I mean, 10,000 credits for a chrome polished hull, because it looked fancy and made the Silver Angel recognizable. You could say it gained us some renown in the parts we were operating. And she was also the one that incited my spark for gambling, which sometimes, at least when I'm losing, I think, or I hoped she didn't, but she did. And yeah, sort of, some sort of honoring the tradition, maybe. I think it's also. As a matter of fact, when we went to Nar Shaddaa, we made some good business here. She blew 10,000 credits on a Sabak game. 10,000 credits. We got just paid for a job, and she wanted to, of course, double our money, as gamblers always want. And while I'm talking, Rhya just sits there and listens. So, and she appears interested and seems to be a good listener. And Nash is looking at her every once in a while, trying to see if she, I don't know, maybe get jealous, because it's strange that I'm talking about an ex-lover. But on the other hand, it's like 10 years ago. It was like I was in my early 20s when those events happened. Now I'm in my early 30s. And yeah, so it's been a while, but she just listens. So, well, anyhow, and Nash falls silent for a moment. Well, as you know, Rhya, ours is a dangerous business. And, well, one of these days, back then, our luck ran out. And up until this day, every once in a while, I blame myself for it, because I was cocky and stupid. I mean, I'm still cocky and sometimes even stupid, but I got a lot more experience now, about 10 years more experience than I had back then. So we got the Silver Angel pretty souped up, actually. Improved maneuvering, thrusters, shields, almost like the Never Too Late. And but we were not in perfect shape. Our hull was damaged, and we, like I said, I got cocky, and she didn't say anything, and we didn't had necessary repairs done. And then, stupid as I was, chasing money and fame, I accepted a smuggling job to a planet in the Outer Rim, in a neighboring sector, which was under Imperial blockade. The Empire has blockaded the system, and we were carrying a load of illegal cargo, and I was only set on building a reputation as a smuggler back then. So I got cocky. But it was not only that the ship was not in perfect shape. Also, I was very unlucky, because, of course, we encountered a TIE fighter patrol, but these TIE fighters, they must have been some sort of prototype vessels. I mean, they were fast. I mean, TIE fighters are always fast, but I've never seen something like this. They were fast, they were agile, and they even had shields. They had shields. They were shielded TIE fighters. And Lula, she hit one of them directly. The ship, the TIE fighter, took a full barrage of our double laser cannon. Full barrage that would have blown any other normal TIE fighter to bits. But these TIE fighters, I don't know, he just swallowed the hit. There was this blue glow. And then it all went south. Within seconds, our shields were gone. Those TIE fighters, there were only two of them. They were upon us like flies, and we just couldn't get them. And we took a couple of direct hits. The ion engine, the fusion engine, it was hit, and Lula, she was caught in the gunwale, in the gun turret, and she couldn't get out. There were debris and loss of atmosphere, and I was trying to get her, and she urged me and says, "No, Nash, go." And I think her last words were something like, "It was quite a ride." And then I ejected into space, and she was engulfed in a ball of flame as the ship blew apart and exploded. And damn, strange that I've never really talked about it, but well, I was picked up by the Empire, of course, and arrested, and was in an Imperial prison facility in a labor camp. But then my bad luck turned as the prison facility, for whatever reasons, came under attack. And I managed to escape in the confusion. Yeah, and made my way back up, acquiring a ship, doing smuggling runs, doing the only thing I basically knew what to do, and or that I could do, and yeah, and one thing led to another, and yeah, I must have gotten at least some reputation, otherwise I would not have been recommended to you back then. And that's the story of Lula and the Silver Angel, and that was 10 years ago. And Rhya just looks at me and says, tilts her head slightly and says, I am sorry for your loss, and I'm thankful that you shared this story with me. And Nash says, well, it actually felt good talking about it, now that I come to think of it. But since we're having this little conversation, and now you know of a love that I lost, what about you? I mean, you are twice as old as I am. More than twice as old. And I mean, I'm probably not your first companion, lover, partner. And she looks at me and says, well, no, you are not, but I have to admit, up until now, I've never experienced this deep connection with another person. I mean, I did have men, yes, they were Eldridian men, but it was more, and I don't want this to sound strange, but it was always more of a physical thing. See, my early adult years, they were dominated by discipline, rules, and hard training, and duty and obligation to the council. I mean, the way to become a shadow huntress for the Council of Elders, like I've told you, is a long and difficult one, and it requires all your devotion, all your effort, and all your strength. But of course, and she looks at me, even though we are pretty tough and disciplined, we do have our bodily needs every once in a while. And I got those needs fulfilled with companions while I was training on Eldrid. But the order and the council always came first. There was just no time to build a real relationship. And then again, like I already told you, the order of shadow huntresses, they're respected in society, but also, well, feared sounds strange, but it's probably the closest thing that you can relate to. I mean, they're like a mysterious order that protects the Eldridian species, homeworld people, and customs, and they're just something, I don't know, for the average Eldridian, something aloft, you could say. So that is also an occupation that is not suited for deep and meaningful relationships. And then Nash smiles a little with his a self-confident grin and looks at her and says, well, then I guess I can call myself lucky that I've made such an impression on you and that I managed to, I don't know, establish this connection. And she says, indeed, I must admit, and please do not take this the wrong way, I was surprised at this myself. I was surprised at these feelings that started to creep up in me slowly, because I've never interacted with humans in such a manner before, but it's also because of the humans. They didn't interact like this with me. I mean, I was hiring pilots and contacts and informants and before, of course, and some of them, most of them were humans because you're so widespread in the galaxy, but it was all like a business relationship, just like it is or it was with you. But somehow, I don't know, I think you did more than you should have, than what you were paid for. I mean, when the data core was stolen in our very first mission together, if you want to call it that now, in our very first endeavor, I mean, you fulfilled your contract basically, and let's be honest. I mean, without you, I would not have made it. I can admit that now, and even back then, there were these moments when you evaded that dreaded space creature, a creature I've never seen before, when we were in the darkness of space, and the thing you pulled with the Eldridian vessel, with the, I think OC, there was this little spacewalk thing, that I respected that, and I have never seen such daringness in a human before. And so first I came to respect you, and then you saved my life. And I mean, this mission saving Naira, I mean, like I said back then, when I realized I needed to form this bond with you, you fought with me, you bled with me, you triumphed with me, and this was something I've never experienced with a human before. Yeah, what can I say? I just have a soft spot for pretty girls. And now he's all cocky again. And she goes, well, lucky me then that I have struck your fancy, it seems. So it seems like she slowly picks up on his little word games, and then her expression turns serious again, and she goes, well, thank you for sharing this with me. And Nash goes, well, thank you for sharing. I think it must have been difficult for you opening up to me. Indeed, it was unusual. And then she says, let's do a toast. And Nash says, so what should we toast to? And Rhya says, to fallen comrades and lost loved ones. And Nash says, I can toast to that, and raises his glass as well, to fallen comrades and lost loved ones. And then we toast, and the rest of the meal, then the mood lightens up a little, and then Rhya actually surprises Nash and goes, well, Nash, this is Nar Shaddaa, and I bet those credits, they are burning a hole in your pocket. do you think, now she smiles a little, you have it in you to double that money? I mean, there must be a casino around here someplace. And Nash looks at Rhya, and I go, well, Rhya, are you sure you're all right? Was there maybe something in your drink? Because usually you don't suggest these things. Yeah, well, what can I say? It is an unusual day. Decide quickly before I change my mind. Well, I've already made my decision, but I feel bad. Should I lose in the unlikely event, well, we got maybe not enough money to get all the upgrades we need. Well, I still got my 10,000. That should be worth something for at least a little upgrades, and I have confidence in you. And Nash goes, well, then I hope I don't disappoint. Yeah. Okay, then let's finish up and see if we can find a casino where I can set up a nice little high stakes sabacc game. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, so we finish up. I pay just a couple of credits, never mind subtracting that. And then we head into a Nar Shaddaa casino, and there are several casinos close and nearby. Let's see, do I maybe have a fitting casino picture here? Let's see. I mean, I had those, but I have another tablet now, so let's see, do I have any casino pictures on this one? Yeah. Okay. This is, I think, will do. Yeah, you probably know this one already, but that's all right. From the first mission with Captain Gant, so basically like the circle is now complete. But as we walk by this casino, we quickly realize that we are a little underdressed for the clientele. So Nash goes, well, what do you say? This is a special day, Rhya. Want to change and get a little more presentable. I smile. And she goes, why not? It is very important to blend in, indeed. All right, so let's get back to the ship real quick and change. So we get back to the ship and change in our casino outfits. But Rhya, she is not wearing the very tight dress, but she's going for the more elegant one. And as usual, we have our weapons with us, shoulder holster and a thigh sheath for her force blade. So let's just say it is, we had, let's say 1500, let's say it is 1700 hours now. So this all eating and talking and changing. It took 5 hours as we entered this casino, and I talked to one of the casino personnel to set up a private 4-player high-stakes sabacc game with a 10,000 credit buy-in. Okay, so Let's see how this goes. It could go very well, but it could also go completely down the drain. So the usual casino table, Nash and 4 players. We have this female near-human species. I actually doesn't know what species this is, and it's a rare miniature, I think, from the it's Jarail, I think, from the, is it Legacy of the Force comics? I don't know, or old, some comic. This is also another woman, a human woman with an athletic build, short blonde hair, and this is the Guri rare miniature from the Universe huge set. That is Prince Caesar's human replica bodyguard droid. And we also have a Duros. So with me, those are 4 players. And what I will do now is I will use my tournament rules from my fantasy framework, but a little different, because what I will do is I will roll 1d6 for every other player, and that'll be their presence score, because gambling, it is presence, so they can have anywhere from 1 to 6. You know what? Make it 2d3, because they probably wouldn't have presence 1. Make it 2d3, and we go with her first. So her presence or bonus is 2. Lucky me. So that is Jarael. She's got +2. The Duros. Oh, he's got +4, just like Nash. And Guri, but even though, I mean, don't call her Guri, she's got, 2, lucky, because only 1 is as good as I am. And so +2, +2, +4, and Nash has +4 as well. And it'll be the usual 5-to-1 conversion, so I make a check, and for every full 5 points, I get 1 point and 3 rounds. But I do use my expert knowledge gambling advantage, which is, you could say, unfair, because they would probably also, if they're gamblers, have this. But I explained this. Basically, the odds are stacked against me, because I got to be better than 3 other guys in order to win. Yeah, given I can win more than I can lose, but it doesn't really matter who of these guys wins as long as I don't win. So I need a little edge, and because for cinematics, so I will be using my expert knowledge gambling ability. That's why I'm a scoundrel, and they won't. So and I will go round by round to keep the tension up. And as usual, Rhya has taken a seat at the bar, and but she will not intervene or interfere, because of course I want to win by my own accord. So it's a 10,000 credit buy-in. We all have our sabak chips, and so the pot is actually 40,000, which would be great. And so we made our buy-in, we got our chips, and the first round of sabak starts, and I'm making the first roll for Jarael, the near-human tattooed woman. +2. Oh, that is 6. That is only 1 point. So it's not going that well for her, it seems, at least, but it's too early to tell. Now the Duros, he's got +4. And look at this. He gets 20 divided by 5. So that is 4 points. That is very strong. But I also do have my power points, which I will use as well. Guri, I'm just calling her Guri. So I immediately see that this guy, he knows all the bluffs, it seems. He is very steel-nerved, and I can't read his face at all. Yeah, Guri's got a solid 12. That is 2 points. And now it's Nash. And now let me check real quick here the PowerPoint rules. The PowerPoint rules, I think I can either re-roll or add +4 or reduce the difficulty by 4. Where is it? Just 1 second here, Acrobat. Ah, damn it. Right, so. Just 1 second, Space Borg book. And so let's go to the table of contents, optional rule, PowerPoints here. Okay, so we can re-roll a check or reduce the difficulty rating of a test by -4. So this doesn't really fit, so I will not give myself +4, that'll be overkill. I will say I can re-roll, but also not a check. I can re-roll 1d20, so I roll with advantage, and I can use a PowerPoint. I got 2 left to re-roll if I want to, one of the d20s. And yeah, so now it's Nash. So far the Duros is ahead. The cred chips start piling up, or the chips start piling up on his. Yes, but 16. So I'm not going to re-roll anything because that is also 20. So that is also 4 points. So we are pretty even after the first round. So the first round is over, and after the first round it seems like this woman is out of her league, but it might have also been all a tactic to keep us in check and safe. And it seems as if it's between us two. Well, she does well, but the first round, basically, we play each other. Okay, second round. The woman, the near-human woman, and Rhya indeed watches intensely. So, the woman, 6, that is another 1 point. Okay, so she indeed, I don't know, maybe she is out of her league, but now the Duros. Haha, but I can have bad roll as well. That is 7, which is also only 1 point. It's converted 5 to 1, every full 5 points. Now Guri. Oh, 18. So that is 3 points. Okay, so now the Duros is at 5, but Guri also. So now it's, let's see, Nash. Come on, Nash. Come on, Nash. Advantage. I know it's cheesy, but give me a break here. Okay, so I'm going to use a PowerPoint. Oh, wait, let's see. So metagaming here, 14. That would only be 2. So that would still be 1 ahead of the Duros. Because he said I would be at 6 and I would go get ahead. And yeah, I can save the PowerPoint. So I'm taking actually the 14, which is 2 points, 10. So I make 2 points this round. So after the second round, the woman, Jarael, has 2 points. The Duros has 5 points total. Guri has 5 points total, and I'm at 6 points. So now it evened out after the second round. So we're all pretty close together. The cred chips, the poker chips, or the sabak chips are piling up between us 3. My stack is slightly higher, and this woman is about to drop out unless she turns it around. Come on, please now, Nash. Good one. Okay, so the woman. 7. Okay, so it's not getting better. She is at 3 points total. The Duros with +4. 8 + 4, that is 12. That is 2 points. That is also not that good. Now Guri. So the woman, it's not really Guri. +2. Please, not a good roll. 11 + 2, 13. That is 2 points. Come on, Nash, now, please. Come on. Okay, last roll. I need 15 to, let's see, +4 with advantage to get 3 points. And then I think I got it. And I got a PowerPoint. Can use 1 PowerPoint. Come on, Nash. And I should have re-rolled the 1 because, I mean, now can I use 2 PowerPoints? I don't know. Let's see. 10. That is 14. That would be 2. You know what? I'm using a PowerPoint to re-roll, and I got those to re-roll the 7. So it's re-roll the 7 +4. Okay, so that is 14. That is 2 points. But I think, yeah, very, very close. Yes, 2 points because 10. So now we have the woman, 3 points total. The Duros, 7 points total, very close. Guri, 7 points total. And Nash, 8 points total. But with advantage and using a PowerPoint. But it was intense. I had fun, and it is a fitting thing for this special day when he opened up to Rhya and they shared some more personal information. So yeah, so the woman, she throws the sabak chips on the table, damn it, or cards, but good game, and leaves. And those two, they look at each other, they look at me, they seem pissed because it was close. And yeah, but they don't do anything and leave. The woman doesn't say anything, she just leaves. And the Duros, he just says, good game, and leaves as well. And I can't really believe it. I cash in. So I get plus 30,000. So I'm at 42,300. I can't believe it. Okay, so, but I'm not making it that easy on me. I'm rolling a d6, and on a 1 or 2 there will be trouble on the way out because they didn't like losing. Okay, so on a 1 or 2. Please don't. 5. Whew. Okay, so lucky. But always give yourself a chance to fail. Also one of the philosophies of solo RPGing. Okay, so I sit there for a very short moment to savor the moment. And then I walk over to Rhya. And I can't help it. I mean, I don't know if how she thinks about it in public, but I'm overwhelmed by my emotions and feelings. So I just softly take her into my arms and want to give her a passionate kiss. And I think she won't mind. I don't want to roll for it. So yeah. So there are no words. I just got the ships, and we are just standing there at the bar, kissing. And this is where we'll end this episode. And actually, well, this is one more like a character building role-playing episode, but I wanted to incorporate the elements of my prequel series somehow into this series. And yeah, I had fun. It was a pretty intense thing. I really like these Sabak little tournament games, and we're at exactly the right place to pour it all into our ship. So maybe now with this money and being on Nar Shaddaa, next episode I can pour it all into the Never Too Late, and then the Never Too Late will finally or probably become the vessel that will become famous as the famous modified beyond all safety specs tramp freighter flown by famous smuggler Nash Duncan. So we'll see about that though. Still, the ultimate judge are the dice. Yeah, so thank you for watching, and if you like this kind of content, please do comment, like, subscribe, do all this YouTube stuff, and please don't forget, I want to get to 2,000 subscribers by the end of October, so your support is greatly appreciated, and I keep forgetting that I should probably say this at the beginning of the video. Well, anyhow, it is what it is. Thank you for watching. As always, stay safe and stay healthy. Until the next episode. Bye bye.